You feel totally out of control with food. To your own words, you feel obsessed with food, you think about food constantly, you regularly have very intense cravings, and you're often finding that you're eating way past the point of feeling full. And when you're at a meal with your loved ones, you're not fully engaged in the conversation. You're looking at how much is everyone else eating and monitoring how much you're eating and feeling like this intense urge to eat more than you know that you should. Why is it that you struggle so much with food and other people seem to have absolutely no issue with it? That's what we're going to be exploring in this video, because as much as you think, I just like food too much, or this is just the way that I am, or I'm addicted to food, I strongly doubt that that's true. And in this video, we're going to go through the main reasons why you may struggle with food when other people don't. And in that, you'll see how this is something that you can change. Number one, your self-worth, your self-esteem, your ability to like yourself or live your life to the fullest is dependent on the way that you look or the body that you have. Whereas these other people that you've seen that don't struggle with food at all, I'd be willing to bet that their self-worth or ability to live life to the fullest is not dependent on their body. How can I be so confident in saying that? Well, if you take any of these people who can just eat freely without over or under eating, and they're not really thinking about food, and you change one thing about them, which is you take them to the bathroom scale, you're like, okay, if your weight changes even slightly from this place, then you're going to feel insecure. You're not going to want to go out. You're not going to want to wear nice clothes. You're going to feel down on yourself. You're going to feel like a failure. Watch their relationship with food change overnight. Having our self-worth or anything that's important to us in order to live our lives to the fullest, conditional on having a certain body, instantly brings in analysis, rule-bound thinking, obsession with food, preoccupation with food, and pendulum swinging from being in control to being totally out of control. Number two, people-pleasing. When I say people-pleasing, I mean having a fear of disappointing people, a fear of abandonment, a feeling like your job is to add value into people's lives, a desperate need to be liked, an intense fear of judgment, and any other variation of people-pleasing that you can think of. What has this got to do with your struggles with food? Well, it turns out a lot in my experience. Let me walk it through for you. So if you've got someone that is people-pleasing, that means the next step along that chain is they're not taking care of their own needs effectively. They're not advocating for themselves effectively. They're not prioritizing themselves, and they're constantly disregarding their needs for the sake of other people's needs or adding value into other people's lives. And the knock-on effect from there when it comes to struggling in food is emotional eating. For example, me growing up, I was taught that anger wasn't acceptable. But the thing is, why is anger there? Why is that a human emotion? Anger was there to let me know, hey, there are some things that I care about that I need that are being infringed upon here, and I need to set some boundaries. But when I couldn't do that, when I felt deeply ashamed of doing that, it meant that I was constantly having my boundaries crossed, constantly having my needs and my values infringed upon, and it felt awful, and there was nothing I could do about it except eat. So you may be a people pleaser at the moment, and other people may be perfectly confident and comfortable taking care of their needs, prioritizing themselves, advocating for themselves, and getting their needs met. And so their needs aren't being fulfilled through food. Reason number three, you have food rules and other people with a healthy relationship with food don't. What do I mean by food rules? I mean any sense that there's a right choice to make with food, a wrong one, a good one, a bad one, choices you should make, choices you shouldn't make, and a sense that your emotional world and your opinion of yourself is dependent on the way that you eat. If you are eating well and in line with your rules, then you're feeling good about yourself. And if you're not eating in that way, then you feel bad about yourself, or you feel scared or disappointed or shameful. Whereas other people that have a healthy relationship with food, they've been making decisions around food based on self-care, what feels right to them in the moment. There's no sense of should, shouldn't, better, worse, right or wrong. They're free to eat as they please, and they trust themselves to do that well enough. The ways that food rules can create struggles in food is, one, because they're horrible to have in the first place. They breed a lot of anxiety and analysis and preoccupation, because you've got to think about your rules and follow your rules, right? But they also set the stage for pendulum swinging, what I call the what the hell effect. If you've got food rules, you bring in the inevitability of when those food rules are going to be broken. And you can spiral into guilt and shame and overwhelming emotions, and then maybe more emotional eating comes on top of that, right? Now, you will have food rules for very good reasons, right? Because your lived experiences, I can't trust myself around food, so I have to create these rules in order to keep myself in check. We're not going to talk about why that's a flawed conclusion to come to in this video, but if you want to learn more about that, then I highly recommend this video that I've made. I'll link it up here and I'll put it down below. Talk all about food rules, why you have them, what the alternative is. But to keep it in scope of this video, you may struggle because you think in terms of rules, that's your decision-making framework, and someone else with a healthy relationship with food thinks in terms of self-care and what feels right to them. And yes, you can learn this other decision-making framework. Again, I'll speak about it more in this video that I've made. So those are 3 of the main reasons why people struggle in their relationship with food. There are many others which I'm happy to explore. Please let me know if you want me to make another video on this topic, but first I want to gauge if it's helpful for you. I know this topic inside out, back to front, left to right. I've lived it myself personally, as well as helping hundreds of people to develop a healthy relationship with food. If you want to talk to me personally about your struggles and how you can develop a healthy relationship with food and how that's possible for you, then I love hosting discovery calls. I have spaces for them every week. You're very welcome to book in for one of those chats with me down below. I also have many other videos on this topic on this channel if self-exploring this topic is more where you're at the moment. Thank you so much for watching, lovely, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.